Hi everybody, this is Tyler Thompson. I'm coming to you live from the Baltimore Harbor, where I've just spent the last 2 days running around the streets of Baltimore. This is the third installment of www.15cities45days.com. Let me first tell you about my experiences in Washington D.C, where I was before Baltimore. In Washington D.C, I ended up going to a park called DuPont Circle. DuPont Circle is a historic park of Washington, D.C., where there's a fountain in the center of the park, and there's lots of benches and grass areas around the central fountain. There's chess being played, there's people roaming around from the bars, and there's also a large homeless community that sleeps at the park. While I was at the park, I met Sarah and Randy. Sarah and Randy are both 29, and they've been living on the streets on and off for really about the last 7 years. Sarah's been living at the park for the last week, whereas Randy has actually been there for 7 years. The first crazy thing that happened was when we were at the park around midnight, and a man came and tried to steal one of Sarah's bags. It ended up being a pretty lively experience because I went and chased him down. I retrieved the bag. I could tell that the man was a little bit mentally disabled and didn't pose a real threat, but he soon later came back after rummaging through the trash and had a cardboard tube in his hand, which he threatened to assault us with. Luckily, we defused the situation and nothing came of it, but it was the start of an interesting evening. After that, around 3:30, the rain started to come down. We had to leave once the rain hit, and once it did, so did a seizure for Randy. Unfortunately, being an epileptic, he's prone to seizures, and when he went into one, it was a bit scary as he started to twitch on the ground and struggled to breathe. We called 911, and I went with Randy to the emergency room where I really spent most of the rest of the evening. We woke up in the morning, and we went to Miriam's Kitchen. Miriam's Kitchen is an awesome soup kitchen. They offer free food in the morning for breakfast, and then afterwards they have Miriam's Studio, which is really unique. There's an art session where homeless members of the community can create their own art. They can use beads to make necklaces, and they also had a writing workshop, which I found really interesting. After D.C., I headed over here to Baltimore. In Baltimore, I started serving at a kitchen in the morning called Our Daily Bread. Our Daily Bread is a huge organization. They basically serve about 650 to 700 people a day in 2 hours. What's nice about Our Daily Bread is that they actually serve the people. The homeless members of the community or other members of the community come and they sit down. They actually eat at a table, and their order is taken by a server, something that I found is truly unique for soup kitchens so far throughout the cities that I've been in. After serving at the kitchen, I made my way to Federal Hill. Federal Hill has a park which actually overlooks the Baltimore Harbor. It's a beautiful area, and that's where I found Russell and Danielle. Russell is 41. He is a black man, and he's been a partner with Danielle, who is a white woman, since October. It was interesting to hear their story and to talk about the segregation that often exists here in Baltimore. You can check out more about Russell and Danielle under the Baltimore section of this website. Please follow my travels as I now head to New Orleans and then later up the Midwest coast on this blog, www.15cities45days.com.